Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Forest Job. Today we're taking on Manchester City in the Premier League. But before we get to that, I have some very exciting and slightly vindictive transfer news for you all. Let's go to the negotiations page so I can fill you in on what's happening. So as you can see, we've had a bid accepted for Meslier, the Leeds #1 goalkeeper. And this one came as a bit of a surprise to me as well. You all remember the drama last transfer window when Tom Heaton signed a new contract with us, and then literally a week later moved because Leeds had activated his minimum fee release. The first time that a club off their own bat had come in and decided to pay not only the minimum fee release, but actually they paid over the odds. If I remember correctly, his release fee was 7.2 million, and they ended up bidding 9 for him. Um, so when the scouts said that Meslier was available, I jumped at the chance because I wanted to stick as many fingers up at Leeds as I possibly could. In real life, haven't got a problem with Leeds at all. I'm a big fan of the way that they play, the way that they approach the game, and quite a few of their players I really do like as well. I could do without the top knots, but the players are really a great example of just hard graft and working for it. In the game, however, Leeds have become something of an enemy of mine, and so I am more than delighted to be able to weaken them by taking their #1 goalkeeper away from them. You'll see here as well that we've already agreed the the transfer of is it Aaron Ramsdale? I think it is, the Sheffield United stopper. Um, he was going to be my #2, and now it looks like he's going to be a very talented #3 instead. Um, Perhaps he's going to end up going out on loan. I don't know. He does add another British player to the base, and I have been trying, as you'll know from previous episodes, to make the team into maybe more of a British core, because we have an awful lot of foreign talent at the moment, and I don't dislike foreign players at all, but I do like to have a bit of a British core in there just so that they know what some of these matches mean. It can be a little bit sterile sometimes, some of these players coming in. I know that's all in my head. It's not something that actually affects the game itself. It's just something that I like. And also with the squad rules, the way that they are in England at the moment, where you're only allowed, I think you're allowed 17 foreign players in a team of 23. So you need 6 British players in your squad essentially. Um, I would like to get near to that to just try to keep it somewhat realistic. Right, so anyway, the terms have been finalised on the Meslier transfer. You join me as live as we confirm it. You can see there he's valued at 6.3 million. We will be signing him for 4.4. Lovely old job. Let's confirm that. And that's done now. We have a very healthy bank balance, 350 grand in spare wages and 174 million transfer budget. I would be surprised if we didn't look at bringing in a marquee player during the January transfer window, but we'll have to see because the balance of the squad is quite important. I don't really want to exceed 23 players in the squad. And if we very quickly go into my team, you can see at the moment we're already at 24. So I do need to have a look at what we can do to change things up. I will work on that off screen. No need to worry about that. What I will actually do, though, is I will throw Diego Lopez onto the transfer list because I'm sorry, Diego, but your time at the club is already over. And that, I think, is that as far as the news of transfers and squad building. We can get into the game today. As you know, it is a huge match against Manchester City in the Premier League. It's right after what was a bit of a thriller against Newcastle United. It shouldn't have been. It should have been a fairly easy win for us, but we ended up taking it to the last second, and it eventually came good for us. We're going to go with our strongest lineup, which is the one that you see here. Everybody's looking okay. Stamina, a slight issue in certain areas, but having said that, everybody in really, really good form. Tonali is back on the bench after his performance last time out. I'm second guessing him as the holding player in the midfield. I think maybe he will be the backup for Camavinga going forward, and if we need to bring someone on for Busquets until he does something horrendous, I'm looking at Gustavo Assunção. Now, Manchester City are playing their 3-5-2 formation. That means that we're going to stick with our 4-4-2. The reason for that, of course, is the fact that our left and right midfielders will have loads of space behind those advanced wingers of Sterling and Ferran Torres, and we'll have two strikers up front against three centre-backs, so we should be able to find the gaps between the channels fairly well. That's the plan anyway. We're going to be maintaining the formation from last time, so that means defensively we're going to be playing an all-out defence with conservative closing down, I think, at the moment. After 5 to 10 minutes of in-game action, we'll probably look at changing that if it's not working out for us. But certainly for right now, against a team that are so good as Manchester City, it certainly doesn't hurt to play slightly more cautiously. So here we go, we've kicked off here at the City Stadium, the Etihad, and Tornatore and Koundé. Oh, hello. Hernandez is in behind here. Camavinga. Oh my goodness me. Hernandez with a really good opening opportunity, and he spooned it wide. You do not expect that of Chucho Hernandez, but that's exactly what we've had happen today. Oh my goodness me. Well, I can only hope that they don't go up the other end and score one now, because that is a brilliant opportunity for us and one that we should not be turning down. Loschek gets it out to Arcas. Busquets bringing the ball forward. Arcas now plays it into Hernandez on the wing. Hernandez gets round his man. He's in on goal. Look to pull it back for Arcas, but won the corner instead. Loschek, oh my goodness me. So nearly the opening goal for Adam Loschek. Joe Worrell competing with Aguero and winning the ball handily. Busquets wins the ball in midfield and allows his team to come forward with it. Loschek very nearly losing it, but ends up getting a fortunate bounce. Arcas is making a run down the wing. He's got the ball. Ruben Dias in attendance, takes the man out, and it's going to be a free kick in a wide area. It's going to be a dangerous free kick. Diaz gets a yellow card for his troubles. Can we make something of this? He gets the ball, but he takes a lot of the man as well. Free kick, absolutely the right decision there. I want to try and whip it in as low as we can. Busquets very nearly getting on it. He certainly attacked it well. Aït-Nouri will fail to keep it in, but it came off of a defender. It will be a throw-in to Forest here. Pardon me for tripping over my tongue. Camavinga out wide, plays the ball in. Arcas underneath it. Again, can't get onto it ahead of the defender, but Zayfuck has it now. Camavinga, Busquets, back to Camavinga, into Arcas. Oh, it's gone in off the post. It's the first goal of the game. It's for Nottingham Forest. And it's that man again who has become a scoring sensation for the Tricky Trees. I don't even think he's a Spanish international at this point, but he bloody well should be with games like this. Do you know what? I've been doing it meaning to do it for so long. I'm actually going to look up Arcas on the old PES database and see what his name is meant to be. Begins with a Q. Can't find anything. So we're going to have to maintain the struggle of calling him Mr. Q Arcas for the time being. But I'm definitely going to look up his name for a future episode. Or maybe at half time you'll have a little cut, and when we come back I'll be aware of what his actual name is. So Arcas going to close down Raheem Sterling on this hand side of the pitch, keeps it in, and the attack is on. Harry Wilson coming forward with the ball, Hernandez ahead of him, gets it out to Arcas. Cross in is deflected by the defender. Rodri deals with it, gets it to Ruben Dias. Koundé now. Rodri to Torre. They get the ball into midfield with Ferran Torres. Salisu challenges in the air, doesn't quite win the header, but does win the ball. Balogun, who's apparently now playing for Nottingham Forest, of course recently signed a new deal with Arsenal in real life, and we're all quite happy about it because he's a pretty exciting prospect, the American centre forward. Just needs to be given the opportunities. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with our young strikers next season. It looks like Eddie Nketiah could be on his way out, and if that's the case, then Balogun will be an important squad player because he is a homegrown talent, and that is important in both domestic football but also in European football. They love you to have a quota of homegrown players in the squad, which is why it's so worrying that the likes of Maitland-Niles and Willock are out on loan at the moment, because you need those players to fill the quotas. But also, look at how well Joe Willock has been doing on loan at Newcastle this season. He's been absolutely excellent. You wonder what Arsenal were thinking letting him go if he can score goals like that with that kind of regularity. Ferran Torres then down the right-hand side as we end the Arsenal talk for the day. I'm still rather disaffected with the whole Super League thing. It's really pissed me off, to be honest with you. City have got a chance in here. Sterling in space, gets around his man, takes the shot. Oh, I tell you what, Aguero wasn't far off of getting a touch on this. I don't know if he was offside, but if he'd taken the risk and moved slightly further inside, that could have been a goal for Manchester City. It's still 1-0 here, 40 minutes, nearly up on the clock. Safe up with a ball down the wing to Wilson. It's put out of play by, I think, Ruben Dias. And so we begin again. Camavinga, nearly caught by the defender, but gets the ball out to Ait-Nouri. This is nice from Forest. Oh, this is really nice from Forest. Oh, it's a good save. Hernandez again with a chance to score, which he spurns. The referee's given a free kick because of an errant foot from Chucho Hernandez. Of course, Chucho is a nickname, not his actual name. I believe his real name is Javier, which is a bit confusing, because I'm pretty sure that there are several Javier Hernandezes. Perhaps that's why he goes by Chucho, but that is his nickname, as Keylor Navas restarts proceedings and Busquets wins the header up high. Busquets has had a good game today so far. Ait-Nouri. And there's the half-time whistle. It's been a good first half for Nottingham Forest. Hopefully they can maintain this momentum in the second. Manchester City have been second to almost everything so far. We'll see how the teams deal at half-time. The instructions given by Pep Guardiola and his doppelganger, Dave Roberts. Both managers sharing a very similar complexion. Could have been separated at birth. Of course, Roberts is psychic, whereas Pep Guardiola is just very good at his job. So that's the big difference between the two players. Well, immediately it feels as though Manchester City are closing us down a lot more. Seyfuck. Wilson. Hlošek. That's a lovely ball from Hlošek. Ah, Hernandez couldn't quite get around his man. Perhaps he should have dummied over the top of it. That's a nice 1-2 between Hlošek and Hernandez. Couldn't get the return ball back again. Lovely passing around the edge of the box from Forest here. It breaks down eventually, but it's very promising. It looks like everybody is singing from the same hymn sheet here as Balogun comes off for Ballestero, who is a player that we've had trouble with before. Ball into the box, Keylor Navas equal to it. It was a good cross though. Ferran Torres, long ball forward. Very unlike Manchester City to play the long ball. But if it works, it works. Oh dear, that's not a good pass, and we could be in trouble here. Ballestero in space, two men around him. Worrell manages to win the tackle, gets it back to the goalkeeper, and Forest escape any immediate threat. Again, lovely passing play by Nottingham Forest here. Seyfuck tries the pass into Wilson, can't quite get it to work. Here's Wilson again. Camavinga, it's Hlošek. Oh, tries to get it back to Camavinga and very nearly does. And Ruben Dias with absolutely no option, it seems, but to put it out of touch for a Nottingham Forest throw-in. Camavinga, Busquets with an early ball into the box. Hernandez underneath, rises to meet it, can't quite get there. Ballestero will pick this one up and immediately plays the ball forward to Sergio Aguero, who by rights should not be playing for Manchester City anymore. But that's real life again. Sterling will not catch that. It'll go out of play for a Forest goal kick. Just check how everybody's doing here. I don't really want to make any changes. We're playing so well at the moment. Everybody, as I said before, it feels like everybody's singing from the same hymn sheet. There's a level of understanding in the movement of the players. Oh dear. That's good from Aguero. Got in between the ball and where it wanted to go. And he's got the ball in an attacking area here. Worrell out wide, gets beaten. Oh, Oriol Busquets completely running wild of the ball. I don't know why, but normally you know that when the player's selected, they're kind of magnetised to it, but I completely lost the magnetism there, and he went wandering, and it very nearly cost us. I would have been very upset if we had conceded from that. If we concede from this corner, it will be my fault, however, as Kevin De Bruyne takes a short corner. Torres looks to get the cross in. It comes off of Ait-Nouri. And it will be another corner kick. They're going for the short option again by the looks of it. No, it was a feint. Salisu gets it away. Wilson chasing after it. Rodri. Wilson does well to get the ball first. We're just going to play it safe. Oh no, it's not safe at all. I was going to say I was playing it safe, but nothing safe about that. And again, they intercept the ball. It was a poor choice of pass by me. Here's Aguero. Out to Sterling. Tracking the run of Aguero. And now Wilson with space to run into. Arcas ahead of him. Dummies over the ball. Manages to advance it slightly. Arcas cross into the box. Hernandez underneath. Can't get to it. The crossing game has been completely taken out of the picture by the City defence today. They've got three very good, very aerially efficient centre-backs. It was foolish to think that we'd be able to benefit from high crosses. Perhaps low crosses might be the order of the day instead, as Hlošek gets the ball. Camavinga comes away with it. Wilson's in space. He might take one here. And it deflects off of a City player. It'll be another throw-in to Nottingham Forest. 5 minutes left. I don't think we need to make changes, but I am going to make changes just to freshen things up. Especially, well, we do need to make changes. Look at that, right. And Nketiah coming on to centre forward. Victor Malejo to come on the left-hand side. And Sailmakers on the right. Of course, that means that we now have men on the flanks whose natural foot is inclined for them to make crosses, because before Hlošek was playing on the left with a right foot. Then he had to check back a little bit. His crosses weren't going to be quite as accurate. Camavinga just holding the ball up, doing a good job. Aït-Nouri to Sailmakers. Why did you cut inside, Sailmakers? There was a perfect opportunity there for you. Just hope we can defend this last minute or so. Ruben Dias going to bring the ball forward. Moves it central to Koundé. Belozoglu, Rodri. Long ball over the top. Raul will look to deal with this. Can't quite manage it, but gets to the second ball. And there's the full-time whistle. It's an excellent victory for Nottingham Forest in a game that, let's be honest, they dominated from start to finish. City had their opportunities, but they couldn't make any of them count. And Nottingham Forest were just so efficient. Hernandez with this early chance. I really thought he was going to put this one away. Really well constructed, but he just put it too far wide of post on the right-hand side there. Perhaps I should have used the R2 button. I don't know. Ruben Dias getting himself booked with this 13th minute challenge, which led to an attacking free kick. And from the resulting play a couple of minutes later, Arcas got himself the goal. It was a well-struck effort from the edge of the area. Nothing too fancy about it. But surely a call-up for the Spanish national team is not far away here. And of course now I remember that I've completely forgotten to look up what his actual name is. So while we enjoy the rest of these, we're just going to have a quick look on Reddit. So nobody's really sure, but Reddit seems to think that he should be called Quintiliano or Kike or Quinto. I'm sure there's a website where they actually do have the names of the players. I'm trying to look it up now. Well, I can't find it right now. Let's have a look. Arcas getting the man of the match. Not surprised by that. I went completely past the stats. We really did dominate, didn't we? 60% of the possession. We had 3 times as many shots, twice as many on target. And the passing looked pretty good as well. We almost had double the passes of Manchester City, which is not something that you could say very often about any team, let's be honest. Okay, so the rest of the results from the Premier League today. We have Newcastle getting a 1-0 win against Leeds United. A very welcome win for the Toon Army. Hopefully they can kick on from here and avoid relegation, especially after what was a gutting loss last time out to yours truly. Arsenal won 3-1 against Wolverhampton Wanderers. That will push them up the table a little bit. Everton with a superb 4-0 win against Chelsea. Everton are the bane of so many teams in this league, including myself. They have a way of playing which I just can't seem to get my head around. Manchester United beating West Ham 3-1, Tottenham winning, and Liverpool losing to Sheffield United. Sheffield United continuing their push at the top of the table. Unbelievable. They've actually managed to beat the team that are directly underneath them. Chelsea have slipped from 4th to 5th as a result of goal difference. And Arsenal now in 6th. Let's have a look at the bottom, where Newcastle United, although they are still second to bottom, they have given themselves a chance. They are one win away, potentially, with slightly worse goal difference, it has to be said, from overhauling Leicester and Norwich City. I think Aston Villa might be safe, although it is very early in the season still. It's probably way too early for me to say silly things like they're safe. But Newcastle United trying their damnedest. Brighton and Hove Albion at this early stage of the season, it doesn't look good for them, does it? So I leave you with the news that Muanta has won an award for Best Asian Player. I think it was Asian player anyway. Never mind, it doesn't really matter. But there we go. So next time out, as I was saying before, it's probably going to be good to come back for the FA Cup match against Southampton. We'll bring you highlights of what was I trying to say? Leeds United. We will bring you highlights of Leeds United. We will also bring you highlights of a really important game against Sheffield United, a team who have come from nowhere. They're doing a bit of a Nottingham Forest, if I do say so myself. But we do need to probably move the series along. We've had two back-to-back games here, and we need to make a little bit of progress. Keep an eye out because I've tweaked the scorecard at the beginning of the highlights. I'm quite proud of them, I have to say now. They just look a little bit more professional. But let me know what you think when you come back tomorrow to see the next episode of The Forest Job. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.